Thank you. We've heard it from editorial boards, from nonpartisan government groups. We've heard it on the news. But perhaps the most troubling is that we've heard it from the very people who elected us to serve in this body. The New York State Legislature is the most corrupt in the nation. And that's partially because this House has chosen to conduct its business under the shroud of darkness. Where is the sunshine in that? With this proposed amendment, we have an opportunity to change the poor perception our constituents have of our state legislature. The job of fixing Albany is of paramount importance. More work remains to be done. Today, I propose another good government reform designed to make the New York State Assembly a more accountable and responsive part of state government. This amendment to Section 2 of Rules 2 would increase the number of members needed to override the rules controlling the hours in session from a simple majority to 2/3 of members elected to the Assembly. The people's work would be done in the light of day, not the middle of the night. Good government watchdogs and taxpayers have spoken loud and clear. All night sessions do not serve the constituents of this great state. Late night sessions reduce openness, transparency, and accountability, and are a glaring impediment to citizens' oversight of the legislature. My job as a legislator is to represent my constituents in Albany. Keeping the rules as they are means that for too many New Yorkers, far too many New Yorkers are being left in the dark. The bottom line, their votes are not being counted and their voices are not being heard. Today, we have a chance to show real leadership and build upon our previous successes. By joining me in voting for this resolution, we will honor the voices of all the voters, strengthen the legislative process, and take the people's house. Take back the people's house. You know, Mr. Speaker, for years, this House has been tainted with corruption. We've seen member after member carted away in cuffs, and now the Speaker of the Assembly, former Speaker of the Assembly, arrested and convicted of corruption. And that taint of corruption falls on every member of this House. But today you have an opportunity to wash that taint off, to cleanse yourselves of the corruption that has overtaken our jobs here in Albany. You know, one of my favorite shows, Mr. Speaker, is Game of Thrones. And there was a scene where the Queen Mother, Cersei Lannister, was being punished for her immoral and unethical actions. She was marched through town, stripped naked, and they walked behind her, ringing a bell, calling out, "Shame, shame," as the people threw dung and food and rotten vegetables at her. Well, you know what? In harsher times, the people who are voting against these common sense, nonpartisan reforms would be treated the same way. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the resolution.